Hi everyone, my name is Elmy and Mika Yanti. In this video, I will discuss about abortion, which must be supported by the government. First of all, I would like you imagine that you are pregnant. You can bear to go on with the pregnancy because your newborn would surely not fare well under your current economic state, in which you are burdened with so much debt that you could barely provide for yourself, let alone a newborn. The nearest abortion clinic is a few hundred miles away in another city that you cannot travel to. Considering the fact that your car has been repossessed. Desperate, you look into your kitchen cabinet and try to find out a way to end the pregnancy on your own. In our world, when women have little access to abortion clinics because they are not close enough to where they live, tragedies like this happen. In places with harsh regulation on abortion, abortion clinics might not even be built, forcing women to travel elsewhere to end unwanted pregnancies. This often is not an option, since many of the same women who cannot afford to raise a family are also people who cannot afford to travel long distance. Thus, the solution to this problem, I'm proud to propose the motion that this House would construct additional abortion clinics in populated areas with non close by. And this argument means that the government would construct an abortion clinics in each city where there is none. In order to demonstrate why my argument must be put in place, I first demonstrate the abortion benefit society and then analyze why, knowing that we must use this argument to make it more accessible. Abortions could benefit both the potential mother and the potential child, and in some cases are better than their alternatives, which abortion mother's life could be saved from complications that would otherwise arising from continuing on with the pregnancy, such as staph infection, heart disease, or stroke. They could also help prevent unwanted pregnancies from happening to more women who otherwise would have given birth to a child that would financially burden them. At the same time, a person could prevent children from being born in bad situation. The two options available to a mother who has an unwanted child are adoption and raising him on her own. Neither alternative to abortion is always feasible. Children in foster care are generally in a bad state. 75% of them have been sexually abused at one point while under foster care. On the other hand, having the parent raise the child is not always an option. The mother could be too impoverished, and the child might end up in prison or in a life of crime due to being born in a bad situation. Thus, we can see the abortion sometimes bring a benefit to both parties involved, the mother and the child. Since, at least in some cases, abortions are good or even necessary, mother everywhere should be able to choose to get an abortion. However, in the status quo, Abortion clinics can be hard to find in some areas such as Mississippi or North Dakota, and states legislators are constantly trying to pass new bills that would make abortion clinics ever rarer. This means that many women wishing to have an abortion would have to travel long distance to get one, which makes abortion practically inaccessible for poorer women who cannot afford such travel. The inaccessibility of abortions prevents women from benefiting from them in the manner described above, and also causes harms of its own. Instead, with few abortion clinics, attempts at do-it-yourself abortion are drastically higher than in states with more abortion clinics. Google search results show that users from states like Mississippi with very few clinics are more than 10% more likely to search about DIY abortion than the national average. In one instance, a woman who could not travel to San Antonio for an abortion called an abortion clinic and asked, "What if I tell you what I have in my kitchen cabinet and you can tell me what I can do?" DIY abortions are harmful to the health of women because they are not conducted by trained professionals and are often unsanitary. In addition, desperate, impoverished women have a great incentive not to have kids. If they are unable to get an abortion in time, one possible alternative would be to abandon or even murder the child. So, under my argument, abortions would become far more accessible because there would be a clinic in every moderately sized city. Thus, the incidence of harmful DIY abortions would be reduced drastically. So, as I have argued above, abortion clinics serve an important role, but in some places are not accessible enough to actually help people. Constructing additional clinics would aid in solving problems such as DIY abortions. Thus, this house should construct additional abortion clinics in areas where there exists few, and abortion clinics shall be provided by the government. Thanks for watching. Bye.